Now, the difference between the human mind and the divine mind. You will notice that I said that and in your own experience, that as I go into me, there is more silence, more stillness. The deeper I go, the more silent and still it becomes. The more I come out of me, the more movement it becomes, until eventually I come out onto the surface of the earth through my senses, and I have all the movement of the cars and everything that's moving, and I have the movement of my mind trying to make all the connections, and then I have the movement in my subconscious, which is just inside my body, relating to all my lovers, my problems, my mother, my father, my accommodation, and all my difficulties in my life. All that movement, all the time, never ceasing until I blessedly go into sleep. That is the human mind. Deep down inside of me is the intellect, the pure intellect. The pure means clear. The pure intellect does not move. It is a magnificent, reflective presence. It is really the presence of God. It is what everybody would call, if only they could see it or realize it, God. A beautiful, pure, reflective presence that is not a body, no body, just presence, like now inside of me, listening to these words. It never moves, never can move, never needs to move. It reflects everything that ever can be, ever was, ever will be, in its absolute stillness. All knowledge is implicit in the pure intellect, so I, who am connected with it, do not need to know anything except what I know. I am informed every second by my pure intellect what I need to know, so I have no doubts, no fears, no wanting, no trying. And yet, I am still not as pure as the pure intellect, and I never will be, whoever I am. But I make the point, the pure intellect is the mind of God that never moves. And I have asked you to focus into the black, into the deep, to focus towards the extraordinary magnet, the inner magnet of the pure intellect, which is the mind of God that is pulling everyone here in and will continue to do so until the day you die. And I ask you, with your attention, with your clarity, to look towards me, towards the pure intellect, and see nothing. For that is purity. To see nothing is to be nothing. That is purity. What I look at, what I can stand to look at, I become. The more I can stand to look at nothing, to look into the distance which is me, not looking outside, not looking at anything, not trying to understand, just looking into the immediacy of me, I am purifying my mind. My mind, my human mind, yes, up here, in the self, always moving, always trying. Smearing your intellect, smearing the intellect, a great movement in front of this beautiful, still, magnificent purity. Does the human mind want to know? What's it about? What is this purity? How deep is the purity? What is God? Does God exist? Does God not exist? How wide's the universe? Where did the universe begin? It's like saying, how did my mind begin? Right? Fancy the mind saying, how did the universe begin, when really it's saying, how did my restlessness begin? Why do I need to know how the universe began? Because I'm restless, because I can't stand to be pure. But you can. You people listening to this tape or being here, you can stand it. And I am here to direct your attention. towards me, the most deep, the most high, which is only me inside that body. So to purify the mind is to make it more and more still. And as I purify my mind and make it still, I make it more like the mind of God, a brilliant intellect, not like the scientific intellect. That's not brilliant. That's clever. God is not clever. God is brilliant. The intellect, the pure intellect, is brilliance. As I become towards or approach this, which is accessible to me who is listening to these words, absolutely accessible to me listening to these words, because there is only one life that is real and true, and that is the life in my body listening to these words. That is the only real life. No other life, there's no other life but that life. And this that I am speaking of is absolutely accessible to my attention who am listening to these words. The only thing is, how much do I want to be myself? How much do I insist on being myself? That's the only barrier to being me. For we have learned through all the teachings, through all the masters, we have learned to be myself. When I tell you the truth is, not to be myself, for God's sake, to be me, and separate from myself, which is the cause of all my problems. There is not one single problem that anyone in this room has or ever will have that is not caused by myself. And myself is a pain. Myself is every pain that I have had since I was born, emotion. Every emotion that I have ever been through is in my subconscious, just underneath my mental awareness, just inside there. That is myself. My body is beautiful. My body was made by God. Every body is beautiful. But when myself gets into the body is made sick, ugly, tormented with disease and problems, all caused by my stinking self. Whereas my body is beautiful. What a beautiful thing. If you've got a heart, isn't it beautiful the way it just keeps beating? If you've got kidneys, all that myself has exposed my kidneys to, all the ignorance that I have put upon my kidneys and my heart, it's still the body which God made, still delivers the goods. Amazing. But myself, it's the only thing that ruins my body. That's all. My emotions, my past. My body is present. You know, my body is present past. Here it is. It's the product of yesterday's meal and air and water. But it's present now. But what is myself? All yesterday's pains, trying to get some comfort through my beautiful body, propelling my body towards this person or that person because I want them to give me something. I think that you will ease my dreadful pain in my subconscious, which is myself, because my lover left me 4 years ago and has left a great insecurity in me. And I think that you'll give me something to fill that hole. So my love of you is selfish. I already want you to give me something. You will never ever be free while you live to take, to get. Freedom comes from giving. And the only thing that you can ever give or give up The only thing you can ever give up is yourself. But what we do most of the time is give ourselves, our emotions, to others and to situations, instead of giving up ourselves to others or to a situation. Yes. As you know, I teach getting your life right as the reciprocal of going into me, where you purify the attention, the mind, get it more clear and honest by going into me, get it more like the divine mind. And then you can look out here, and you can look into your life with a clarity and honesty and see where it's not right, and take practical action to get it right. Not thought, practical action where your life is wrong and making you emotional. Honest enough to see where that is, where the cause of that is, and take practical action. So having seen what the problem is, I suggest that you give. Instead of looking to get, I suggest that you give. I suggest that you keep giving. I suggest that giving is the solution to every problem. At the same time, though, using your honesty and clarity to see. To see where you want to take, where you want to get. So most people's problem, which I mentioned I was going to talk about, is due to expectation. In every situation, I expect to win. Everyone expects to win. And I teach my children to expect to win. And the reciprocal of expecting to win is a fear of failure. So my life consists of trying to win and fearing loss. You'll notice that's duality, that's its opposites. So the mind then, just like it does with the senses, inwardly in the subconscious, tries to equate trying to win and trying not to lose, trying to gain and not to be a failure. And so it jumps from one to the other, backwards and forwards. Enormous use of energy, enormous waste of energy. Because the truth is, we can't all win all the time. And we all have to fail some of the time. That's the truth. But the human mind and emotions can't face that. So we're always looking to win. And if we don't win, we're unhappy. Where did I go wrong? What happened? And start to emotionalize about it instead of looking to see what the fact is. So you'll notice the disjointedness that the human mind and the emotions goes. Winning and losing, taking, getting, taking, getting in every situation. Fear of failure. Guilt. Guilt is the inability to fail. That's self-reflection. Say I said to you, what can I do for you? Say you are my lover, my partner, my mother or my father. What can I do for you? What can I do for you, mother? Say I said to my lover, what can I do for you? Have you tried that? All the time. What can I do for you? When that person responds, I might say, yes, I will do that for you. Or I might say, no, I can't do that for you. Or if my mother said, I would like you to love me more, I would then say, yes, that's why I'm asking what I could do for you. How can I love you more, Mother? Well, you might make a few more phone calls than you do. I said, no, Mother, I can't do that. Because every time I phone you, you get unhappy, or you start talking about the past. So all I do when I phone you is make you unhappy. And I want to do something for you, not make you unhappy. So if you don't talk about the past, or if you don't get unhappy when I phone you, then I'll be able to phone you more often, because then I'll be doing something for you. You see, I can't do for someone. Everybody thinks when you want to do something for them that they're going to get. So I ask you, what can I do for you? And you want to get from me. My brilliant intellect is likely to say, no. And then the mind might say, but you said. I'm saying no, because you want to get. And I'm here to give. And if you get something from me, it'll make you unhappy, I promise you. Whenever I get something, unless I look very closely at it, I'm aware it will make me unhappy. For the law of life is to be free, I must give. And yet I don't give indiscriminately like people who want to get would ask me. No. So is that all right? You see, there's a built-in protection. But you cannot judge another. You only have to come from where you are yourself in your giving. For giving is a godly thing. And because God is behind giving, there is a clarity behind right giving. Right giving is right doing. And that clarity is the protection of the innocence of giving, which is not afraid to fail. Is not afraid to say, no, I cannot give you that, without fearing its own apparent contradiction. But that requires clarity, doesn't it? A straightness, an ability to be me, to go towards that wonderful intellect, that pure intellect, which is inside the body listening to these words. That purifies the perception. That makes the human mind, which we all have to use out here, straight. It brings it into alignment with the divine straightness. And so you get a clarity that is wondrous in the midst of deception and dishonesty and wanting to get that does not understand the freedom of just simple giving.